Hello. So, this is going to be a little bit interesting. I'm going to be doing a bit of a video replay of a run of Wild Woody that I did yesterday. So, yeah, this ended up being the world record by 8 seconds. So, I'm just going to go ahead and get this replay going. So, starting off, you can see that I am not running on Sega CD hardware per se. I am running this on actual Genesis, but this is through Mega EverDrive Pro. So that basically just helps cut down some load times and some inconsistencies with loads. So it's just nice to have. Always select medium, and then so we're gonna have the timer kind of running. I did have the timer running, as you can see, the time was 1840, and yeah, I just feel like it's necessary to have show the timer running this time around. So Broadside Bell is fairly straightforward. Not a whole lot going on here. Thankfully, there weren't that many mistakes in this stage. At least that I can remember. One minor thing is that whenever Woody's falling, I wanted to try and avoid the free fall animation. At the end there, I did lose a little bit of time from letting that free fall animation play out, but yeah. And right here, I accidentally grabbed the rope, or the vine there, and I just did not want to get that. Down here, this path isn't done by the task, but I always feel like it's a bit faster, but yeah. You can deal with those clams kind of getting in the way. But otherwise, this is the same path that the task takes. Alright, so Yoho went by okay. Unfortunately, the second hit here, I did not commit to a full jump and ended up kind of saving myself with the flying clam there, but otherwise, straightforward fight. Alright, so Minotaur Maze. This one was interesting. This is the first time I've really tried going for the task route here, and yeah, it's a little bit faster than what we had been doing. But unfortunately, the stage is very fickle, to say the least. So the collision can be having some... It will have issues with loading, or it's hard to describe what the game is doing here, but towards the end, some surfaces will not cooperate and will not erase away, and I basically had to unload the area and then have to reload it. I do not know what's going on with that, and also I did not commit to my jump there very well, so I have to take the fall of shame there. Unfortunately, this is probably one of the sloppier stages throughout the run. I always have to wait for the platform cycle here. Platform cycles do not really start until you get a certain distance away, so it's pretty consistent with how you can land certain platform cycles. Now this one I did miss the platform cycle from having to erase the Cyclops there. And this is the perfect example of why walls won't erase. I'm already holding down the B button so it skips Woody's erasing animation, and sometimes it just will not react even if you try to do the erasing animation. It's super inconsistent with this stage, and not entirely certain why it does this. And generally costs a lot of time, just from basic RNG. Don't want to give myself that. that. Alright, so Mount Olympus is kind of an interesting stage where it's pretty much mostly platforming. A lot of jumps that are fairly scary, but after doing it enough times, it's a pretty interesting stage. It's one of those stages I always kind of loathe playing early on, but yeah, I've grown to like the stage a bit more. The stage went over somewhat better than the last one, but I still kind of erased a few too many enemies that cost me some time. And also getting knocked off this platform was kind of annoying. It's the only enemy that can cause you to fall off from the moving cloud platform, so it is kind of annoying to deal with them. Alright, so Gadzeus. This fight actually went over pretty well, though I probably took way too much time trying to set my jumps up. But I was managed to do the cloudless jump 3 times. And 3 times in a row with that. But sadly, I go for it 2 more times. I try to get really aggressive with this fight, but I decided to wait it out on the next platform cycle so I can get the guaranteed hit. Alright, so Industrial Rage. This stage is quite different from how this was in the past. Completely skipped the rocket sketch, and we just take a teleporter that, yeah, it was right there all along. But otherwise, this stage is fairly straightforward. Let's just fall down the right spots and then go all the way down to the bottom. The false gold. Alright, so this is Dark Power Plant. This was a strangely an okay attempt at this stage. Unfortunately, I went down the wrong path at one point, and yet I still ended up with the gold on this stage in my original split, so very interesting, to say the least. Yeah, always want to try and grab health there, because if I don't pick up any health at some point before going down to the bottom path, it can end up bad. This is the path I didn't want to take. I accidentally just fell off there, but I still ended up where I needed to go, and somehow still ended up being ahead, and with the gold. Who'da thunk? Alright, so Meanie Techno Weenie. Yeah, straightforward fight. Getting 2 hits in as possible, and yeah, for each cycle, just land 2 hits, and that's it. Alright. Alien Homeworld. This was interesting, to say the least. This is the only stage in the game that has a fairly major skip, that we can just go straight from the beginning to the end. Sadly, this clip is very inconsistent. Woody likes to snap up to certain platforms, especially if an enemy is nearby. But sadly, this clip was not going to cooperate. You might notice I'm erasing sometimes when I'm standing still. I'm just trying to hold B, just try and see if I can get Woody to magnetize a bit closer to the enemy, but you can do it without doing that, but it felt like I was getting a little bit more consistency leading up to SGQ by doing that, but yeah, it took quite a while, but that's Alien Homeworld. Alright, so Infested. This was a pretty clean-ish run of this. A little slow at certain parts. Going through the gravity sections can always be a bit of a headache, but thankfully this went by pretty fast on both sections, so... sadly did not get the new clip here until the second try, so... But thankfully, that skip isn't too big of a time save, so if I had failed it, it wouldn't have been the end of the world. Also, I am pretty bad at remembering that this stage, you can't, like, instantly race with Woody by just holding down B throughout the stage. The surfaces on the stage just typically do not want to cooperate by doing that. Alright, and just gotta shorten down so I can fit into the corridor above. And yet again, ropes being quite fickle. And that's pretty much Infested. Alright, so Alien Love Nest. Easily the hardest boss. Only because there's just so much that can go wrong. Like, trying to get a hit on the queen or whatever. It's just very difficult. But thankfully, hits carry over even after death. So I just only need to hit the head one more time. And yeah. This fight could definitely have gone faster. Alright, so the pit has been pretty much the only stage that's had like a major reroute aside from Industrial Rage. Where this is something that the task doesn't do, but I've taken the general path that the task would take. Tasks can take a path where they can clip up the wall, like the giant wall that we're gonna pass by in a little bit. But it's very difficult, and I've only managed to do it once. Yeah, not really viable for full game runs, to say the least. So we try to get this ghost sketch so we can get over the wall, which does save still quite a bit of time compared to the old route, which a lot of hard platforming that gets skipped, thankfully. Otherwise, it's a pretty straightforward pit. I do get kind of stuck on these enemies. They try to get in my way, and I always end up erasing them, which is a common theme with this specific run. Everything wants to get erased by me today. Alright, so we're heading on to the Undertombs. Another straightforward stage, and sadly one of the easiest stages in the game, which is very odd for a final stage. Task does do a different route, but it's not that it's a hard route to go for. I probably could be doing it, but I don't know. I'm a bit lazy. Don't want to take that route. Alright, so we are on to the final boss, which, from the very start, I'm able to get an early flush by luring the monkey all the way to the right side and just get another hit off the toilet, so yeah. Saves quite a bit of time instead of having to loop around. And yeah, that's Wild Woody in 18 minutes and 40 seconds. So yeah, definitely a lot of things to improve in this run, but yeah. I will have the Well, the run without commentary in the link below in the description. So, yeah. I hope you guys had fun.
Cheer up. You just saved the universe. Once you toss Tombstone on top, I'll put these bozos back on ice. But first, you deserve a reward. Anything you want, pal, you name it. You want to be king of the world? Super powerful. A rock and roll star.
Those all sound mighty tempting. But I've got a different idea.
You got it, pal. Just toss Tombstone up, and you'll get your wish. I am all-powerful, young pencil. You shall not defeat me!
Sorry, pal, but it's game over. Woody's got the rock and time's running out. He's at the top of the key. 3, 2, 1. He shoots. It's good!
Thanks again, Woody. I'll see you next time the world needs saving.
Yeah, only if we sell a zillion units.
Now for your wish.